This video is brought to you by Loot Crate. Head today to lootcrate.com/reviewtechusa and enter the code RTU to save 10% on any subscription plan. Skip it up and that up. So here is some interesting news coming out of Ubisoft. Last week, the publisher revealed that its recent game releases have sold pretty damn well. So well, in fact, that the company's sales in the last 3 months have risen 374% over the same time period last year in 2013. But that's not even the biggest news. The biggest news is what platform was the most profitable for them, and that would be the PS4 by a pretty damn wide margin. Here are the percentages of Ubisoft software sales from April to June 2014. Way at the bottom, we'll go from the least to the most here. Mobile and other platforms, paltry 1%. Wii, the original Wii, not the Wii U, 1%. I'm surprised they even got 1% from the Wii U. It's pretty much dead. PC was only 14%. Xbox 360, 14%. PlayStation 3, 17%. Xbox One was also 17%. And the PlayStation 4 made up 36% of Ubisoft's software sales. It killed every other platform out there. So why is this happening? Well, let's compare the PS4 to the Xbox One. The first reason is pretty obvious, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. The PlayStation 4, there's more systems sold. There's approximately 8 million units out there in people's homes worldwide. And there's less than 5 million Xbox Ones. According to VG charts, which I know can be inaccurate, there's less than 5 million Xbox Ones in people's homes. I know those numbers could be, but we know there's more PlayStation 4s being sold than the Xbox One. So if there's more systems out there, more people can buy games for the system because they have the system in their house. So there's more potential for software sales from developers and publishers if more people own the system, and more people own PlayStation 4s than Xbox Ones. But that's not even really the case completely because, 8 million systems in the grand scheme of things isn't that much. I also think it has to do with, and I've talked about this before, but I've laid off like I promised because it was beaten to death, that people who aren't even tech savvy know that multi-plats right now look better on the PlayStation 4 than they do the Xbox One. Like last generation, people knew that multi-plats look better on the Xbox 360 than PS3 for most of the generation. People know it's the opposite now, that PlayStation, when there's a multi-plat game, it's going to run at a higher resolution, have better frame rates, and just be a prettier game. So even if people own both platforms like me, I own both an Xbox One and PS4. If the game's not on PC, I should say, I'll get it for the PlayStation 4 because I know the game is going to look better. So I'm sure that's helped out Ubisoft as well, and I'm sure that's helped out their multiplats to sell well on the PlayStation 4 and sell better than any other platform out there is because people know the games are going to look better. And last but not least, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering why the PC versions of Ubisoft's games aren't selling super well. And there's a few reasons for it. The first one is that a lot of people can't stand Uplay. They don't like the Uplay DRM that Ubisoft has for their PC versions of games, and I'm sure that's hurting their sales. And secondly, and Icy Rhythms can back me up on this, is that Ubisoft's PC ports usually suck hairy gorilla ass. There's bugs, there's frame rate issues. Watch Dogs was no exception to this. There's a bunch of issues with Ubisoft's PC ports, and people know that, and they don't want to deal with it. Hell, I prefer the PC platform to game on. I have 2 gaming PCs, and there are times in the past, even with 2 capable gaming PCs, I'll still buy the console version of the game if I know that it's going to have issues on the PC because I just don't feel like dealing with it. Now, things on PC have gotten better, and games are a lot more stable now than they've ever been, and it's easier to PC game now than it ever has been before. But there's still developers like Ubisoft that make crappy PC ports that make people want to stay away from buying the PC version of their game. And I'm sure that has to do with the low percentage of PC sales that Ubisoft is experiencing. So the bottom line is that I'm sure that Sony is loving this news because now the PlayStation platform is going to be the preferred platform for developers again because developers are seeing that games will sell on the PS4 platform. It's also good news beyond Sony because this is showing developers that it's worthwhile to make games for next-gen platforms. You will make money making games on 8th-gen platforms. Don't be afraid. Don't stick to the 7th-gen consoles. They're old and crusty and dirty and haven't showered in a while. It's time to move on to next-gen. There's money to be made there if you make good games. Alright folks, this is Rich of Review Tech USA. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.